Name is Matt Tevsh. My current position is Player Services Supervisor, but I've pretty much done, I think, everything in the golf staff for the most part. And I've been here for, I guess, roughly 25 years. Mark Hagenbach was our first golf pro. He hired me. So interestingly enough, I went to school at St. Norbert. In my first 2 summers, I'd worked at Black Wolf Run, just down the road in Kohler. I'm from Sheboygan, so I stayed in Sheboygan the summer and worked there. But every once in a while when I was driving home, it looked like they were doing construction on the property here. So I was like, that kind of looks like a golf course. And I didn't know anything about the plans at the time, so I got in touch with Mark, and just so happened that we'd both had a background at Black Wolf Run, and met him a couple months before the club opened, and that's pretty much how it started. So. I don't know if I was necessarily involved in launching the club, but I started here as, I guess, a player services staff, working outside, helping the members with their clubs, getting the day set up, helping with the driving range, similar to what I do now. So like I said before, it was just exciting to be a part of that grand opening weekend because everyone, after a several-year process, was so excited just to get the club open. So. That first year I also worked in the golf shop as needs arose, and worked in the golf shop for a couple years after that as well. I've had a lot of other, I guess, supplemental jobs since this job is seasonal that I work here, but my primary one is I'm a freelance journalist as well. And I did work for Packer Report for about 23 years. And I also write for a golf magazine, so those are some of my passions outside of working here. People don't know how good the sunsets are here. We have a spectacular view of the western sky, and a lot of people are gone from here after they're done playing golf or whatever, or they're inside at sunset. And with Lambeau Field in the distance, I've seen so many spectacular sunsets out here. And that's one thing that I've really over the years started to appreciate more, I guess. Another thing is we've had a lot of major golf champions visit here, and a lot of people didn't know about that. We had Bubba Watson here for a clinic years ago before he had won the Masters. I think he was on another mini tour at the time. That same day, Sean McKeel was also here, and he'd won a US Open recently. We also had the Women's Senior Tour here, which still exists. I think it's called the Legends Tour now. And their first ever event was held here, and I think a lot of our newer members don't know anything about that. So that's a historical footnote. We also had Fuzzy Zeller visit, who's a Masters champion. And he was here for a clinic, and he was a great guy, as you'd expect. He actually came into our golf shop, and he purchased a putter that we had there. It was like a $300 putter. And he actually used it the next week in a Champions Tour event, which was crazy to think about since he was, a big golfer or whatever, big tour player. We actually had the TV on to the Champions Tour event that following week, and he was using that putter that he bought here. So that was kind of an interesting little story that I always remember. We were also shocked just to see him, well, first that he bought the putter and then that he actually used it like 5 days later, so. There have been a lot of changes. I would say the biggest change over the years was we've become more family oriented. I think a lot of private clubs have gone that way, especially in the Midwest region. It was kind of a necessary thing to do, and I think that's been a great move, just to get kids involved, to get the wives involved. That I think has been enjoyable for me too. I've seen a lot of kids grow up here, and the fact that we tailor more towards family oriented things, that's probably the biggest change I've seen. I would say the members, the biggest surprise to me when I first started here, even now, is how unpretentious everyone is. I think a lot of people have, a vision of what a private club might be, what the people might be. But I've always felt welcome here and felt like I'm almost part of the membership. The members are really engaging and really sociable. And I think that's just the greatest part about working here, honestly. We really have a staff now that's willing to go the extra mile to help everyone out. And like I said, I think we feel like we're almost part of the membership. I think it feels like one big family here, and that's a great place to work. I don't know if there's a singular achievement. I think the word I think about is maybe perseverance. because we've had a lot of change here and the private club business can be tough. The fact that we're still going strong, and there's always times that are tough for whatever reason, but I think we persevered through a lot of things, and the club is really built upon its foundation. The Sports Center is a great example of that. I think we're always improving, and that's why we are where we are.
25 years.
I never thought I would be here for 25 years, to be honest. I think it's worked well with some of my other jobs and some of my other passions, but to be able to come to a golf course every day as your primary job, I think that's probably what's kept me here. Golf is one of my passions. And I tried the real job when you're out of college, the 9-to-5 type of thing, and found that just coming to a golf course is something that was a lot more suited to my personality. And we have a great place here, and it's a great place to work. So I guess the one person I would want to single out, he's not here anymore, is Jim Keane. He had been a member here for 25 years. I think he's just a model member. He's always in a good mood. He was playing golf well into his 90s. He shot his age well into his 90s several times, which is incredible. But just the fact that he was always in a great mood when he came out here, and he always treated us so well. His last day here was actually kind of sad. He came down the stairs by the bag room and gave me a letter and just thanked me for our relationship for 25 years. I actually have it framed on my desk, and that's like a memory that I'll take with me forever. I think Green Bay Country Club in this community, I think this region, we have the best golf course. I don't think there's any question about that. I've had the opportunity to play a lot of the great courses in the Midwest, and I'm always not surprised maybe, but I'm always appreciative of the conditions that we have here, the course that we have. It absolutely stands up to the best courses in the Midwest. And when I tell people around the community that I work here, they're always like, "Oh, that's a great course I heard." So I think people know. And I think at the core, I think we're really a golf club, and really people appreciate the course, and I think that's the one thing that really stands out in the community. So I'm not sure I'll be here in another 25 years, because that'll put me at about 71, I think. But if I am, it wouldn't be that disappointing, really. This is a great place to come to work every day. So yeah, it's tough to say 25 years down the road what'll happen, but I'm pretty sure golf will be around yet, so I think we'll be around too in another 25 years.